Okay, this is my response to our discussion post. Question 1, how does trust influence the success or failure of a community organizing effort? I think that once the trust is established throughout the organization, the decision making is kind of more effective. I think that then more people are going to want to contribute to the ideas that you have and the efforts that are going to be made. So if you are able to trust one another and the higher up leaders, you can, especially trusting those higher up leaders, then you're going to want to put in more effort into the organization and the community that's going on. Question 2, what strategies can be used to build authentic relationships with diverse community members? I think that hosting meetings where you all can come together and compile all these ideas can really help build that trust and build that strong foundation for the organization that you are trying to continue on for. How do you rebuild trust in a community that has experienced broken promises or neglect? I think that if you are experiencing broken promises or neglect, especially from the higher up of those communities, I think re-electing would be a major thing that you could rebuild trust. I think re-electing and having the voices of the community heard is going to be a major thing to rebuild that trust. And then once you have those new leaders, establishing that trust and being very transparent with the plans that you're going to do and the plans of what you are going to accomplish in your time, I think is going to rebuild that trust. Number 4, how can organizers ensure that all voices are heard, especially marginalized groups? Again, I think this kind of ties in with last week's as well. I think community meetings are a very great way to have these organizations ensure that all the voices are heard. I think that when everybody is able to give their input and everything is taken into account, all the ideas and backgrounds are able to come together. What challenges arise when trying to unite people with different backgrounds, beliefs, or interests? I think this kind of goes into place with all those different meetings and having all those different ideas. I think the challenges are that everybody has their own unique ways that they think, and the ideas that they have and different challenges that they might have, I think it'll all just kind of come together. So that can be a big challenge when everybody has all these different ideas. It can be kind of overwhelming. So I think that with all these different ideas, that could be very challenging. How can community organizers maintain momentum and commitment over long periods? I think that establishing the fact that you want to grow and that the ideas that you are presenting and changes you are doing are not for short term, they're for long term. So that way, and making sure that everybody has the idea that these are long-term goals. Yes, you might have small-term accomplishments, but in the end, you're looking towards these long-term goals. So I think that ensuring in like fundraisers or different events that you guys can host and whatever to get more people involved that can maintain that momentum and have more people come in, and so the commitment levels will stay kind of steady. What happens when personal relationships and movement goals conflict? How should organizers handle this? I think that if this is a work situation, personal lives and work situations should not necessarily be involved. I think they should be two separate things. So we kind of need to move past that. And I think that once you establish that wall between, okay, you're my friend, but you're also like my colleague or somebody that I'm working with, that can really help move towards those goals. But when there is a conflict, I think that organizers should just kind of take a step back and reorient themselves and realize that, this is affecting not only me and this person, but it's going to affect this whole group. So we need to kind of take this back and stop whatever this conflict is, because there's not only us that are going to be affected, it's going to be us and the community. And then lastly, what lessons about relationship building can we take from historical social movements? So obviously from historical social movements, we want to reflect on our history and kind of do better and move forward, or take away a big lesson that we had from that. I think that in a way, kind of creating allies. So this could be like combining another community with ours and working together to have this big project together. I think that would be a really great way to kind of show like, oh, not in a way that history is repeating itself, but we want to do better and work together to do this overall goal.